Hello everyone, I'm Andre Rodriguez and welcome to another episode of The Melodic Machine. In the previous two episodes, we've talked about the structure and the different departments of record labels and what they do. So now that we know this, let's jump into record deals. This video is called Record Labels Part 3. When a record label is interested in you and negotiations are happening, they're going to offer you what is called an advance. This is your signing money. It's what the label expects you to use to record your music and to live off of during the time you record and until you start making a profit. Usually, there are three different ranges of advances depending on what type of artist you are or the level you're at. First, we have the new artist deals. These new artists are the ones who don't have a lot of following on social media, don't have a lot of streams on Spotify, iTunes, etc., and they're basically not huge touring acts. An indie label can offer between $0 and $100,000, the average being $25,000. On the other hand, a major label can offer an average of $100,000 to $200,000. Then we have the mid-level artists. These are the hot artists that are growing more and more. They can get an advance for between $350,000 and $700,000. Then, finally, we have the superstars. These are, as the name implies, the rock stars of the industry. They can get anything from $1 million and up. This sounds amazing, right? You get all this money to record your music and to do what you love, but how are the labels actually making any money if they're just giving you money? Every single advance is recoupable by the record label, which means the advance is actually a loan, which means you have to pay them back. The only difference between a record deal advance and a bank loan is that there's no interest rate on the money that you have to pay back to the label. Also, if you suck as an artist and don't make any money off of your records, you technically don't have to pay the label back. Here's the thing. Historically, labels have made their money from the mechanical royalties / album sales. We have a video explaining everything that has to do with royalties, so if you want to refresh your memory, click here to check it out. Record labels can take between 80 and 87% of your record sales, leaving you on an average of 13%. Let's picture this 13% as a whole pie. From this pie, you have to pay your manager, your lawyer, and your business manager, maybe even other people. So you have about 65% of your original 13%. From that 65% of your 13% is where the recoupable money comes from to the label. So if a label gave you, let's say, $1,000 to record one song and you've generated $100 so far, the label gets around $87 because they own a percentage of your song. That doesn't go into paying back the advance. Out of that $100, only like $8.45 are going towards paying back the loan. Side note, because the label is giving you the money, they have to approve all the expenses. So if you're thinking, great, I'll get $250,000 and record with my friend who's gonna charge me 50 grand so I can pocket the rest. Wrong. They have a saying on who you're going to record with and who's gonna be the producer, the mixer, the musicians, etc. because they're putting the money down. They do this not because they're jerks and they're evil and corporations and whatever. They do this because they want to make sure they have a good quality product. Now, let's talk about the infamous 360 deals. As we mentioned before, historically, labels made money off of record sales. We all know now that record sales are almost non-existent, and streams don't make as much money as album sales used to do. The concept of 360 deals was developed as insurance for record labels to make money after they invested in an artist. Nowadays, artists make most of their money off of touring, merch sales, sponsors, sync and licensing, radio airplays, TV and movie appearances, amongst others. Under a 360 deal, a label can take a cut out of every single one of those. The percentage depends. They can take 10% of touring, 20% of merch, etc. Again, it all depends on your deal and the power that you and your team have to bargain. The argument is that a record label is the sole entity that is willing to put money down to develop an artist's career, which, if I'm honest, is 100% true. Nowadays, like today, 2018, it's almost impossible to sign under a label, indie or major, without a 360 deal. This fact should not discourage you from signing, because, for example, an artist like Lady Gaga originally signed under a 360 deal, and she's doing pretty well for herself. In the next episodes, we're going to be talking about how to pick your teams, how to pick a manager, a lawyer, a business manager, etc. So please stay tuned and remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next week for another episode of The Melodic Machine.
The Melodic Machine.